The coronavirus pandemic had wide-ranging effects across the board. Among them were the tough decisions that had to be made by international student athletes after their respective seasons were shut down.
Ahoj, já jsem Lucka Pokorná, jsem ve druhém roce, jsem z Kladna z České republiky and I'm on the volleyball team.
Me llamo Tomás, soy de España and I'm on the golf team.
Привет, меня зовут Ирина, и я из Кыргызстана, города Бишкек. And I'm on a cross-country and track and field team at University of New Orleans.
Hoi, mijn naam is Anke Vullings. Ik studeer in het vierde jaar van de Universiteit of New Orleans and I'm playing in the women's tennis team.
Je m'appelle Léa Alguacil, je suis de Paris. C'est ma 4e année and I'm in the tennis team. It was scary, but so I stay a little bit here because it was really bad in France. So I stayed here until May and I went home for the summer. I'm always talking to my parents on FaceTime and stuff, but I knew it was difficult for them knowing that I was kind of by myself or like without them here. And there was only like they were seeing the news on TV, so of course it was scary for them. I remember my mom told me like she didn't leave the house for like 2 months straight, like anything, even to go to the grocery store and stuff. So they got like deliveries. Yeah, it was way stricter than here.
We heard that like the whole season was cancelled, and I mean a week later, like we got the message that we could go home. But I can still remember us sitting like in the tennis center, and like 7 out of 8 were like crying since like we were all internationals, and like for many of us, like we didn't know if we could go home. I know Spain was already on a lockdown, so like one of my teammates was like really like upset and she didn't know how to get in. The rules were really vague, like there was like not like much information what was possible and what wasn't, so there was a lot of uncertainty going on. So it made it really like tough, like that moment for us, since like we didn't know if we could go home and like all of us didn't want to stay that long away from home.
We were surprised because it was a roller coaster, because at the beginning they said we weren't going to play probably the tournaments for the conference, but then all of a sudden they said not even conference or the other tournament, so everything was shut. It was pretty bad at the beginning, and it's still bad in Spain. They put everything, they locked down everything, and I decided to stay here because the situation there, it was bad. Nobody could leave home, and it was really bad.
I can tell it was the worst time ever in my life, honestly. It was really tough. And so I think I was more training orientated. And of course, I had a lot of free time since you almost like, you do your run early morning. It usually takes a couple hours as a max. And it's usually from 5 till like 7 and then you're done like for the rest of the day. Of course, I had some online school stuff, but again, it didn't take that much time. And of course, TV shows, Netflix. I watch, during this time I watched 90 Day Fiancé, it was my fave. And I had a bike, and I usually biked around, like, because we have a beautiful sunset every evening, especially on the lake, or you can just walk there and enjoy the sunset.
So most of my family were like, oh, you gotta stay in the USA because if you come home, you can't return back. And for me, because I play volleyball, that was really hard because I knew if I go home, I won't be able to come back and participate in my season. So that was really frustrating, but also I really wanted to go home and see my family. It was really tough, but I made so many good friends here, so it wasn't as hard, but obviously I miss my family very much. So obviously I knew I couldn't go home because I wouldn't be able to return, and but I still wanted to like work hard and maybe find something that I'm interested in, and like trying to learn new language or do like
my hobbies, and I like drawing, so I drew every day almost. But yeah, so I was looking for something new, and obviously, like I knew I have to come strong again for the season. So, but it was really frustrating to know that maybe we won't even play volleyball, or yeah. So, but I still try to work hard every day.
So you just realize that you cannot change the world, but what can you do? Just change your mind and your attitude, like towards this situation, and just stay still positive and try to adjust this new reality. It is how it is. Everything is on hold right now in the world, and the only thing that you can do, just keep training and keep in mind that probably in the spring you still will be representing your university, and one day you will be able to compete again, and just be ready to roll anytime.